Well, hello everybody. Today we're looking at the hair sheep flock, and I wanted to talk about one of the great benefits to grazing sheep is their ability to restore pasture for its end use, perhaps as a cattle pasture, because cows and sheep eat different types of vegetation that exist in a grassland setting. So your cows are going to eat more of your grasses, like we see here, that canary. They like legumes like clovers and alfalfa. And we have some vetch here, all great forages. The sheep prefer to eat forbs, which are more commonly known as weeds. So some common forbs that we see in our pastures here today would be dandelions and Queen Anne's lace, which is a wild carrot. Now you look at this ram here chewing on Queen Anne's lace that's kind of in the mid stages of growth. And we were able to graze this entire field before the Queen Anne's lace went to seed. So this entire 2-acre field, which lies adjacent to our property, it's unused and we have permission to graze it. And instead of putting up a permanent fence, we've been grazing it with our sheep the past few years. Now last year at this time when we had grazed it, it might have been a little later, there was Queen Anne's lace visible everywhere. And you can see there's an old driveway here. Someone used to put a camper here every summer. So there was some gravel down here. It's compacted. And so nature has a funny way of trying to self-correct the issue. So compacted soil, a lot of times you're going to see your forbs, your Queen Anne's lace, and your dandelions proliferate, while your more beneficial from a cattle perspective grasses aren't going to do as well, and they're going to get out competed by the forbs. But there is a great benefit to having those types of plants on your pastures. They send a really deep taproot down into the soil and they open up the soil. It's almost like, from a gardening perspective, a broad fork. So we've passed through this field, 2 acres, in about 3 weeks or a month. And the first thing that the sheep are going for, you can see that ewe going there, they're getting the Queen Anne's lace. They just love it. So if you have Queen Anne's lace in your pasture and you're hoping to improve it for perhaps long-term use as a cattle pasture, starting out with some sheep or having someone graze it with sheep is a real beneficial way to get those beneficial grasses. And conversely, if you have sheep and you're looking to improve that pasture more for vegetation that sheep prefer, one of the tricks you can use is graze that area with cattle, and they'll graze the grasses down quite short, which will provide an opportunity for the forbs to take off. So you can use the two species together, and you can also use them separate to meet your end goals. And I just finished reading an excellent book on this topic by Abram Bowerman out of Missouri. And very well written book, right to the point. It's called The Practical Shepherd, and it's more or less a how-to and a journey, the story of Abram's journey as a sheep farmer. He's only a young man, maybe 29 or 30, and I think he now has 500 ewes. Started the operation when he may have been about 12 years old. So he has almost 2 decades of experience, some hard-won experience, and it's definitely worth a read. And you can get that book through the Stockman Grass Farmer magazine online store. So that's it for today's video. Hope you learned something, found something interesting. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to follow along for more regenerative agriculture and landscape management techniques, hit the subscribe button.